Hello. Rosh Hashana is the day of judgment, the day in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself judges the whole world in general and each creation individually. Though we are all accustomed to pouring our hearts out in prayer, beseeching HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give us a sweet good year, is this really permitted? What are we allowed to ask for, and what are we not allowed to ask for on this awesome day? Though Halakha dictates that on Shabbat one is not allowed to make any private personal request in his prayer, or even to pray on behalf of a sick person, on Rosh Hashanah the Halakha is not so. On this day, one is allowed to pray for personal matters. The reason being is obvious. These days of awe, when our whole lives are literally at stake, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will measure all of our action, and this will determine the outcome of the rest of the year. It is only befitting that we try and tip the scales in our favor through prayer and good deeds. This is so in regards to all of our physical needs, how much more so when praying for our spiritual welfare. In example, to be successful in our learning, to have our repentance accepted, etc. It is important to note, however, that the proper place to insert these personal private prayers is at the end of the Amidah by the Elokai Netzor. That being said, one must exercise great caution not to get carried away with his own personal prayers and lose sight of the main point of the day, the coronation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu over the entire world. As this is the objective of the day, thus the tefillot in the Machzor were set up revolving around this recurring theme. Therefore, we must make sure that our main focus during this auspicious day be on this concept. Moreover, one must try to instill in his heart a feeling of fear and awe. As the Rambam expounds, we don't recite the Hallel not on Rosh Hashanah nor on Yom Kippur, as these days are one of awe and trepidation. The Rambam then continues, one mustn't indulge in excessive laughter and joy, rather he should be serious. With all this, he should place his trust in his Creator. Our sages teach us that a year which starts off poor will end up rich. Rashi explains this to mean that one should make himself poor in his prayer. As the verse states, Tahanunim Yadaber Rosh, which the commentaries explain to mean that one shouldn't just make himself as if he's poor, rather that is the reality. When we're standing before the Creator of the world on this day of judgment, we are all poor, as we're lacking the guarantee for that we need: life, health, wealth, a family, etc. One is allowed to cry in his prayers as long as these tears flow from the feeling of closeness and yearning to cling onto HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as this will make our prayers more desirable to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. However, one should not cry from pain and anguish, as on this day the Pasuk says, Al titablu ve'al tivku, lechu echlu mashmanim, ushtu ממתקים ושילחו מנות, נכון לו, כי קדוש היום לאדוננו, ואל תעצבו, כי חדבת השם עמאוסכם. שנה טובה ומבורכת. שלום, שמי הרב שי תחן, ואני מקווה שנהניתם והחכמתם מהשיעור. אם יש לכם שאלה בהלכה, פנו אלינו לבית ההוראה במספר 347-666-3467. זה מספר בניו יורק, ולכן תוכלו לשאול במספר של וואטסאפ, והרבנים של בית ההוראה ואני בכללם ננסה לענות לכם בהקדם. שבת שלום.